you're one of those guys that is constantly for the last couple of years, every New Year's, I'm going to get on it. I'm going to go beast mode. I'm going to lose this weight. I'm going to transform my life. And then you fucking quit. You bitch out. All right, men inside of the Forge Father community here. Welcome to another episode of Forge Father FM, Man on a Mission Radio. We got a good episode for you tonight. Going to be digging into the 5 admissions and 5 commitments that you must make in order to become a man who is truly living and leading a legacy in life. And for many of you out there, we're coming up to the end of the year. New Year's resolutions are waiting right around the corner. So I'm sure you're starting to think a little bit about what you want to do for the new year. What types of goals do you want to set for yourself? And that's all great. And I'll actually get into this a little bit deeper next week in next week's episode, talking about New Year's resolutions, goals, and how those are not enough. And if you've ever set New Year's resolutions in the past, or even goals, and you didn't hit those goals or ended up quitting on your New Year's resolutions, there's a reason as to why that happened. And I'll get into that a little bit deeper next week. But this week, if you truly want to break free and create change and transformation, when I talk about change and transformation, I'm talking about your life as a whole. A lot of you guys are looking for the wrong things. You think that you just need a workout program. You just need workout routines, right? If that's all you needed, you would be where you wanted to be. You would have the physique that you wanted. Workouts are a dime a dozen out there. Free. Go get them for free. Just do a Google search. Go on YouTube. Go to my Instagram. I post workouts on there every single day. You're seeking workouts. You're seeking diet tips and tricks, diet plans. Those are all fine and dandy. But what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to dig a little bit deeper. Because if you want true change and transformation, no doubt training is a part of that. Nutrition is a part of that. But it's got to become a part of who you are. So you're not constantly looking for the next cool workout program or the next latest diet trend, the new shit. What's always worked has always worked. Consistency, discipline to a workout plan, to a way of life, training your body, building it to be strong, fit, energized. It's not, oh, I took the last year off because of COVID. My gym got shut down. I got busy. Look, I understand how that goes. I work with hundreds of men that went through COVID, that went through quarantine, that are in many ways still going through the hardships that has brought on. Busy schedules, dealing with kids at home. It's doable. And it's crazy when I think that guys take a full year off, or they take months off at a time without training their body, building their body up, keeping it energized. And then they wonder why they're so tired. They wonder why they feel like shit. They wonder why they get sick so easily. And so in tonight's episode, what I want to dig into, like I said, the 5 admissions, things that you are going to have to admit to, taking ownership on. That's one of the first things that you need to do if you're looking to change and transform. Too many guys out there want to play the blame game. COVID, gyms closed, just bullshit excuses, bullshit, putting the blame off of something else when it comes down to you, the man, the individual who needs to do the work. So let's get into these 5 admissions and commitments, because on one side of the coin, you got the admissions, you got the things that you need to own up to. And for some of you, this might be a little bit of an aha moment. It's like, oh shit, I need to own up to that. And then on the other side of the coin is we got the commitments required to overcome these admissions. Admitting to these faults is one thing, but then taking action and doing what is necessary is a completely different thing. And so let's start with the first admission. And that first admission is this: you lack purpose. You lack purpose. So if you have, within the last year, struggled with motivation, and you've used motivation or lack thereof as the reason why you can't get yourself on track, you can't get back into shape, you can't seem to eat better, it's because you're lacking motivation. It's not that you're lacking motivation, it's you lack purpose. You lack purpose. Purpose is what creates the want and the desire to achieve something. When you have true purpose, when you go below the fucking surface and go beyond the, I want to lose 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 40 pounds. I want to get my energy back. I want to be healthier. I want to be the fucking man. I want to have confidence. You start digging in a little bit deeper and you start saying, you know what? I want to be the fucking man that my kids can look up to. I want to be the man that my wife can depend on 100% of the time. I'm not the guy saying, honey, I'm going to get on it. This is going to be the year. I'm going to lose this weight, only to not follow through again. And it's not motivation. I will tell you right now, it's not motivation. You do not lack motivation. You lack purpose. And so the first thing that you need to admit to, if you've been struggling with motivation, and I know a lot of guys do, it's because they just don't know what they don't know. It's because they lack purpose. Furthermore, when you have a clear purpose, you are clear, you know exactly what it is that you want. We have a framework that we use inside of Man on a Mission, inside the Forge Father. It's called the MVP, mission, vision, purpose. To get tapped into that purpose, you get really, really clear with what your vision is. So how you look, how you feel, how you live your day-to-day life, everything in between. I'm not going to dig into those details now, but you just got to understand, you get so fucking clear inside of your head. You can see in your mind what it is you want. And then you connect it with this purpose, whatever that is. I know for a lot of the dads that I work with, it's that they want to be that man for their family. They do not want to let their kids down. They don't want to let their wife down, their significant other, whoever is on the other side of the picture. Maybe if you're a single dad, it's all on you, brother. Even more accountability. There's a lot of single dads that I work with that are not married. There's nobody else to depend on but you. So you can connect that vision, the want to change, lose that weight, get in better shape, so you don't have to struggle with your energy. Why is it important? For my kids. All I got to think about are those crazies that are running around in the background, especially when I'm in those moments of opportunity, which I talk about these all the time, moments of opportunity. When you don't feel like doing the work, you're lacking the motivation, you tap into that purpose. You tap into that purpose because guess what? When the purpose is real, you're going to light that fire. You're going to relight the fire to create the desire to get you in a place mentally to run through fucking brick walls. You will do anything and everything at that point when you truly tap into it. And I'll just say this, what's really cool about this whole concept, this MVP stuff, this purpose, when you can tap into it like this, I get my guys to tap in it like that, snap their ass out of that motivation. I'm not motivated. I don't feel like doing it today. Tap into that purpose. You again become a man on a mission. You unshackle yourself from the motivation bullshit. So that's the first admission. Admit that you don't have a clear purpose, a deep enough purpose that is strong enough, that is clear enough to get you unstuck from this motivation problem that you have. And so what do you need to do? What do you need to commit to? Commit to this for yourself. Commit to getting very, very clear on what it is that you want. But not only that, get very, very clear with why it is you want whatever it is. What's going to create that burning desire for you to want to run through fucking brick walls? If it doesn't fire you up enough that you will do anything and everything in your power to achieve this result, whatever we're talking about here, part of your vision, it ain't deep enough. It ain't deep enough. That's number one. Number two is this: admission of limited intelligence. What does this mean? Simply put, you just don't know what you don't know. Let's just admit this for a second, right? You've gotten to a certain point in your life. If you are stuck, if you don't know how to train your body properly, you're just winging it. I totally understand. My profession is in the strength and conditioning world. It has been for the 15 plus years that I've been doing it. It comes to me naturally. I can create a workout like this, right? For people that are not in this profession, it's not like that. Whatever your profession is, you are very, very highly skilled and trained because you've put in reps, you've put in time, you've got the knowledge. When you have the knowledge, you have the confidence to implement and execute on whatever task is associated with that knowledge. And so a lot of guys out there, they sit there and they're just like, I don't know how to work out. I can't figure it out. I don't know nutrition. I don't understand macros or calories. And they sit there and they refuse to fucking grow. They keep a fixed mindset. And so this is all interconnected with staying where you want to stay. If you want to stay in the same place, or do you want to bust out of that bubble and grow? Life is about growth. Life is about ascension. Life is about continually getting better. And so if you're sitting there and you just don't know what you don't know, first you need to admit that. You need to say, yep, I don't know what I need to know. I lack the skill set. I lack the knowledge to get XYZ result. For a lot of the guys that I come in contact with and have conversations with, they lack the knowledge in how to train their body properly, especially if they're busy. They lack the knowledge in how to properly fuel themselves. That's why they get caught up and get fooled by all the bullshit, hyped up, quick fix junk that's out there. And they just keep spinning their wheels, going from quick fix to quick fix to quick fix. And it's this simple. You admit that you don't know what you don't know. You adopt and commit to a growth mindset, Educate yourself. The knowledge is out there. It's freely available on the internet. Just take some time to read and research. However, I totally get it. I totally understand that is a challenge, because do you have all the time in the world? Absolutely not. So this is where you hire a professional. You seek guidance in this skill set or this lack of knowledge that you have. You seek guidance from a professional that knows what they need to know, that can in turn give you the knowledge, help you skip over years of trial and error, of testing things out and failing, wasting money and wasting effort, and most importantly, wasting time. You can save time by first admitting that you don't know what you don't know, and then adopting and committing to a growth mindset. Seek that knowledge that you don't have. That's literally the gap. It's like you're right here, you're struggling, you don't know what you don't know, you want to get over here, connect the dots. The knowledge is there in between. However you choose to get there is completely up to you. So that's the second thing you need to admit to, and we're all guilty of this. I'm guilty as charged too. I can think of many situations in the past where my ego got in the way. It's like, Travis, you can figure this out on your own. You don't need help. Help is for the weak, right? I'll just tell you this. Help is for those that are fucking smart and want to save time and want to get A to Z much faster. That's what it's truly about. And so you got to put that ego in check. You got to say, you know what? I'm more concerned about growth and ascension than worrying about whether I got help or not, right? So that's the second thing you need to admit to. And what you need to commit to is a growth mindset, because we roll into the next piece. It's like literally when you have the knowledge, when you have the tools, it's literally a game of admitting to the excuses and the justifications that you're making to make excuses okay. Get real, raw, and honest here with ourselves. And let's just admit that we've been sweeping things under the rug for however long now. We blame motivation. We blame being busy. We blame not having the knowledge. We blame other people. Hell, I had a conversation with a dad yesterday. His kids were what was holding him back in his mind. That was the story that he had. It was all on his kids. Kids got travel this and travel that. I'm constantly busy doing that. Okay, well, let's take a step back here and let's look at the real situation. Let's look at the facts. How much time could you actually take for yourself to improve yourself? Oh, I got time. I can make 20 minutes. I can make 30 minutes. Okay, so is that on your kids now? Oh, now that you put it that, it isn't on my kids. Own up to the fucking excuses. Own up to the bullshit excuses. This one is simple. It's just, you got to admit to being an excuse maker. You got to admit to you being the guy that's, justifying things, making it all right up here. And the reason for this is you haven't taken on 110% responsibility yet in your life in that area. You might be doing it in other areas, but when it comes to you, either you got some crazy story up inside of your head on how it's selfish to take time for yourself. It's not selfish to take time for yourself when you're building yourself up for those around you. If you're just taking time for yourself to benefit nobody else but you, then that's selfish. With all of the dads that I've worked with over the years, hundreds of them, none of them regret being selfish to better themselves for their family. And their families aren't too upset about it either. So you need to admit to making the excuses. You need to admit that you haven't taken on 110% responsibility yet. And what you need to do is you need to commit to simply being a man of action. Commit to being a man of action and commit to taking on 110% responsibility. Because when you do that, it's an insane mindset shift that happens, because no longer do you have this safety net. You're putting off the responsibility on other things. I'm just going to blame this. I'm just going to blame that. It's easy to make excuses at that point. Whereas you get rid of the safety net, it's all on you, bro. It's all on you, man. It's not your kids. It's not your wife. They're not the ones that are going to put in the fucking work. I always find it funny that when we get to a point of we've drawn the line in the sand, we've owned up to these excuses, we know we need to make a change. Hold on. Let me get permission from the wife. For a lot of guys out there, you already know you don't need permission to make a fucking change in your life. And part of it is because you have not taken full responsibility for yourself. And so you're going to put that off on your wife? Come on, man. You're going to put that off on your wife? I know how it goes. I can share a story right now. Years ago, had I not made this decision to make an investment, make a big investment into myself, let me tell you right now that the thought crossed my mind to say, hold up, I need to call my wife first, knowing that she was going to say no and that would let me off the hook. This was about 10 years ago at this event for business owners that own gyms, there to expand my knowledge, there to get myself better, there to grow. And it came down to making it a decision to jump into this coaching program, this mastermind. I'll tell you right now, it absolutely transformed my life. Had I not done it, I don't know if I'd still be in the fitness industry, to be honest with you. Very, very difficult decision, very painful decision. But I remember being at that event, sitting in the last row, had this piece of paper as a pink paper, listed out the contract of this mastermind group that I joined. It was the most money that I had ever invested into myself all at one time, put it on a credit card. But I'll tell you this situation, I want to share this because this is real life shit. I can't even tell you how many dads I've had conversations with that let this bullshit hold them back. They're going to put it off on their better half. And I just about did it too. So there I was sitting on the last row, looking at this contract, sweating bullets because it was not money that I had at the time. So I had my credit card, wrote it down on the paper, sat there for a couple more minutes, got up, walked it over to the back corner table in this event. So there's speakers speaking at the front. And I'm just like sitting in the back row, contemplating, do I do this thing? Do I make the jump? What do I do here? I handed the paper in. I go back to my seat. I'm sitting there. Palms are sweaty. I'm literally sweating from my head as if I just worked out. Thoughts of failure, thoughts of doubt, thoughts of uncertainty were going through my mind. Am I going to make this happen? Holy shit. What's my wife going to think? My wife's going to kill me. So I actually had gotten up, walked back to the table, and I came up with this bullshit excuse. I only had one credit card at the time. I said, hey, I need to get my sheet back. I'm going to use a different card to sign up, knowing that I was just going to get the sheet back and I was going to tear it up and I was going to throw it away. So I get the sheet back. I walk back to my chair, sat there. Then the thought came across my mind, you know what? I'm just going to call my wife, going to let her know about this, run this by her, and I'll see what she said. Knowing well in full, she would have reached through the phone, grabbed me by the neck and said, Travis, are you a fucking idiot? Hell no. Hell no. What are you thinking? And at that moment, I said, you know what? I need to make a fucking decision. This is on me. I took 110% responsibility at that point. I said, this is on me. Handed that piece of paper in. My life forever changed at that moment. As far as a businessman goes, as far as the trajectory of how my life was going at the time, absolutely transformed my life. So that's the power of admitting to excuses, justifications. It's all just bullshit. It's either you did it or you didn't do it. Take ownership on it. That's what you need to commit to, because when you take ownership of it, now you know who it's on. You know who needs to do the work. So the next one, and this is a very, very, very important one, and this is the admission of limiting self-belief or self-limiting beliefs, however you want to say it. It's basically just doubts, uncertainties in yourself because you lack confidence. And let me tell you about lacking confidence in yourself. Talked about this the other day. A reason a man lacks confidence is because he's fallen into certain patterns. He's got tendencies to quit and give up when shit gets tough. Why? Because he lacks belief in himself. Self-limiting beliefs. Guess what self-limiting beliefs are? Fucking stories that you create inside of your mind. You are powerful beyond all measure. Everybody is. Everybody is. Those who are able to tap into their mindset, tap into the MVP, connect things to their purpose, create a burning desire inside of their heart to go out and do the work that's required to achieve a certain goal. It links back to this right here. Because guess what? As you go on the path, as you put in the work, as you start pushing forward towards the outcome that you're wanting to achieve, whether that's you want to lose 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 40 or more pounds, you want to get rid of this dad bod, you want back your energy, you want back your confidence, you want back that health so you can show up and be your best self. Guess what? You're going to run into sticking points during the journey. It's going to happen. You're going to have those days where you put in the effort, you took the action, you're implementing the plan, the right plan, and shit just doesn't work out. And so it's in those moments that you get to make a decision. Are you going to back yourself? Do you trust yourself to continue to move forward and achieve the outcome that you desire? Do you trust yourself to continue to do the work and complete the mission? For a lot of guys out there, it's unfortunate, but they don't. Why? Because over the years, they've tried and quit, tried again and quit, tried again and quit, got motivated, started doing good, ran into the resistance. The resistance is the shit that we face in life. Small, big, catastrophic. We all face this resistance. And guess what? It's just like building muscles, right? Building muscles. The muscles get stronger through the resistance that you put it through. You yourself, your mind, your self-belief, it is a fucking muscle. Your confidence is a muscle. You got to flex it. You got to push it through the resistance and you build confidence as a result. You earn confidence. You earn confidence. Think about it. If you're sitting there now, out of shape, fucking run down, feeling sorry for yourself, how much confidence do you think you have within yourself at that moment? Not a lot, because you haven't worked the confidence. And so when you go through real transformation, you stick to doing the fucking work, even when you don't see the results overnight. Guess what? You earn that confidence. You start to back yourself. You build the belief in yourself. And that's a powerful thing to have, because guess what? When you're around other people, they can feel it. Your kids can feel it. They can see it. Your wife, she can feel it. She can see it. And I'm telling you right now, man, if you're one of those guys that is constantly for the last couple of years, every New Year's, I'm going to get on it. I'm going to go beast mode. I'm going to lose this weight. I'm going to transform my life. And then you fucking quit. You bitch out because of some excuse, got busy, unmotivated, whatever. Guess what? You're just breaking those promises with yourself, and you're losing confidence with yourself, and you're losing confidence with everybody else around you. And guess what that does to your self-belief? Just shrivels that up as well. So what you got to admit to is this. Admit to not having the self-belief in yourself just yet. And all you got to do is you got to commit to believing yourself. Commit to backing yourself in those moments of opportunity where you don't feel like doing the fucking work. Because when you do that, you prove to yourself that you can do it. And then you just continue to do it. You continue to do it. You continue to put in the reps. And that's what's going to get you to the goal. That's what's going to get you to the destination, is pushing through those times where you're facing the resistance. But most men, they don't have the fucking capacity. They break easy. They're easy to fucking break. Don't be one of those men. So that one right there is admitting the self-belief. Commit to earning your confidence. And you do that by simply showing up and putting in the work, especially when it matters most. And the last one that I want to talk about here is probably the most important. And that is just admitting that you're fucking scared. Admitting that you're afraid. We all are. And what some guys don't know, this works on such a subconscious level within your mind, because you condition yourself to be controlled by fear. And it's directly connected to what I just talked about. So in those moments of opportunity, a simple one that I can use here is when you wake up in the morning and you know there's shit that needs to get done for you, work that you need to do. Nobody else can do it. It's work that you need to do. Maybe it's just you got to get up and you got to work out. It's fucking go time. Don't feel like it. Tired, not motivated. That fear is going to hold you back in that moment, because you've conditioned yourself in that moment not to take the step forward. That's your pattern. That's just one situation. Other situations, some guys are just simply afraid of change. They're afraid of success because they've been living a certain way for so long. They've gotten comfortable being that individual. I had a conversation with the dad yesterday. He grew up as the fat guy, would always laugh it off. That's what he still does. His kids think he's the funny, fat, jolly guy. That's the identity that he's taken on for himself. And that's how he's lived for the 45 years that he's been on this earth. The fat, funny guy. And he admitted to me that he's used humor to cover that up in regards to how he really feels. We go a little bit deeper. It's basically because he's been afraid of change. He doesn't know how to fucking act without the cover of being the fat, funny guy. And when I asked him what's more painful, living as this fat, funny guy, not being able to play with your kids because after 5 minutes, you're so out of breath, you got to take a breather, or getting out of that fucking shell. You can still be the funny guy, but you can be leaner, stronger, fitter, more energized, healthier. What's worse? What's the real fear here? And so fear is just one of those things. We can't get rid of fear. People say, oh, I have no fear. That's bullshit. It's a part of being human. Fear is going to be there. And so you have options. You can either let fear break you, You can let it pull you back into your old habits, behaviors, and patterns that are comfortable, that you're comfortable with and no longer scared. Or you can let fear build you. You can let it break you out of the mold, break you free of your old patterns, your behaviors, your routines. Because here's the thing, it's like, if you get to a point where you're in so much pain being where you're at, overweight, unhealthy, you know there's something missing in your life. Yeah, you might be showing up as a great dad. You might be killing it as a husband. You're crushing it as a professional. You're making the money that you want to make, but you know there's something missing. When you look in the mirror, it's you. It's your health. It's your fitness. It's the confidence that you have in yourself. And you're letting some sort of fear fucking hold you back from taking total control of that. And so that fear is never going to go away. Use that fear to build you. Use that fear of staying the fucking same. Use that fear of being average and mediocre. Move you forward. Because I know for myself, if I just ever connected with average, with mediocrity, with anything that I do in life, that is a fear. And if you fear anything, fear fucking losing, fear regret. And so the first thing that you need to admit to with this last one that I'm sharing here with you is you just got to admit to being afraid. It's a part of who you are. And just commit to being courageous. Commit to being courageous. Commit to rising up to that fear, using it to build you. Because here's the thing. You got two sides you can pick, right? First side, live in fear. Live in a fucking scarcity mindset that most men live in, right? Perfect example is when guys get close to that edge. They're like, I'm ready to change. I'm ready to make this transformation. Let's fucking go, beast mode. And it's like, they finally come to the realization like, holy shit, this is real. I'm going to have to make the jump. I'm going to have to make investments into myself through time, effort, financially. Whoa, fear mode kicks on. Scarcity kicks on. Let's hold on to everything and not let go. And let's just stay the fucking same. That's what scarcity will bring you. You will forever live in fear and you will be shackled by it. Whereas if you use fear to build you, if you become courageous, and courageous it's an act, just like discipline. You do the things that you need to do when you're afraid. So to be courageous is to use fear to build you. That's when you're living a life in abundance. When you take ownership, when you harness fear and you simply become a man of action and you just do the work, regardless of how you feel, you let go of the excuses and you just go straight into the resistance, straight into the fear. That's where all the results are. That's where all the change and transformation that you could ever want sits, is right there in the fucking face of fear. Back the other way is nothing but pain, average, mediocre, and regret. And so when I'm talking about living and leading a legacy in life, being the man for your family, being a superhero to your kids, being the rock for your wife, you got to stand up to fear and you got to learn how to harness fear. Because if you've been allowing fear to hold you back up to this point in your life, it's like, let's unshackle you from the fear. So those are the 5 admissions, 5 commitments that you must make. Quick recap here. First one, admission of lack of purpose. If you don't have a clear purpose, it's time to get very, very clear with what it is you want so you can really start to light that fire inside of you. Forget about fucking motivation and just start being a man of discipline because you're so freaking on fire. You got this desire that you're just going to run through walls. Next admission is limited intelligence. You don't know what you don't know. Commit to growth. Real simple. Get out there, learn, seek the knowledge, invest into yourself to gain the knowledge faster, to be guided forward. Admission of excuses and justifications. Simply own up, take responsibility, be an action taker. Admission of self-limiting beliefs, lack of certainty, lack of confidence. Commit to believing in yourself and just become a man who backs himself, especially in moments of opportunity. That's how you build that. That's how you're going to earn that confidence back. And lastly, stop living life in fear, being consumed by it, allowing it to break you. Use fear to build you. I hope you got a lot out of this episode. Use these to your advantage. Stop looking for the surface level shit, the workouts, the diet, information. More than likely, what you need to fix first is yourself. You need to fix what's going on up here. Once you fix what's going on up here, you become an unstoppable individual. So here's to becoming a man on a mission. Implement these, take these in, drop comments. If you're getting good aha moments here with what I'm sharing, feel free to drop comments. And until the next episode, we'll see ya. Be a man on a mission. Get out there and earn it.